Boom. And we are live. Nathan, is happening.
It's be live, baby.
Yes, yes, yes. We are live. Hello, everyone. Good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. The live is about to start. We're going to give ourselves 3 minutes. We're going to give yourselves 3 minutes so you can grab a little something to drink, sit, relax, and enjoy this session. If you're already in here, let us know in the comments with a little hello and let us know where you are. We want to see where are people located. Boom. Nathan, how's it going on your side?
It's going good, man. We're rocking 27 degrees Celsius. It's a bit hot, but not that hot.
Nathan, how's it going on your side? Okay. Okay. 27. That's completely different. For me it's more of a 5'10".
I get that.
Okay, I see we are live on X. So that
Okay.
is working. Hello, everyone who's on X. I'm going to post this to make sure everyone can join. So we're going to take a little 2 extra minutes before we start because life is too short to miss on Mr. Nathan.
Thank you, man.
Yes, 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 yes. There you go. Let me check. And YouTube is live. Brilliant. Hello to the guys on YouTube. Hello to the guys on X. Hello to the guys on LinkedIn. We're probably also broadcasting on your LinkedIn, Nathan.
Yeah.
Excellent. Give us a little hello. We're going to start in about a minute. So say hello in the chat. This is a live session. So we are actually looking at all your comments. And I can see a couple already joined. We have a couple of hellos. Brilliant, brilliant. I'm gonna show that in 1 minute. I'm gonna show all of your messages in 1 minute, guys. But keep sending us all of those message.
My bad. I just logged on. So there's some people on my side who were on as well. But we're going to let
Yes.
you drive this conversation in terms of who's commenting. I'm going to put my phone down.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna show all the messages. So
Okay.
every time someone sends a message on your LinkedIn or mine or any of our social media, I'll show all the messages. If you have any questions for our guest, type those questions in the comments and I'll pass it on to the guest so we can have like a big conversation all together. I think we can give it a start. How do you feel about that?
Let's go.
Okay, let's go. So, because I want to honor you, I'm going to do something that I rarely do on this podcast is that
Okay.
I am going to switch gears.
Okay. I like that,
There you
man.
go. So
I like
now we
that.
are synced.
We are synced. That's awesome.
Brilliant, brilliant. Okay. Hello, Nathan. Thanks for being here with me today for this live cast. Again, it's a live cast, so everything is happening live. People can interact with us. Thanks for being here today. The reason why I wanted to have this conversation with you today is because we met about nearly 2 months ago,
Yeah.
and we talked a little bit about our stories. And I have to say, I was really, really impressed and inspired by your story and what you've accomplished. And I want people to hear it. And instead of me saying it, I want you saying that story today.
Okay, man. Okay.
So who's Nathan?
Okay. So, born in South Africa, um, the youngest son of three boys. There's a little bit of feedback on your side. I don't know if you can hear it. Okay. Anyway, let me cut to the meat and potatoes, right? I'm not going to tell you about Nathan's favorite color. And here's what you need to know. At the end of 2017, or perhaps we go to 2017. 2017, I completed my studies in mechanical engineering. That was a yay moment for me. Was pretty living pretty soft at the time. Okay, soft. At least I thought I was living soft. But by the end of 2017, when I finally qualified, I lost my job in mechanical engineering. This is the same job that my wife, my son, and I relied on entirely to sustain our livelihoods. And I really wasn't worried because I was like, you know what, we got a car, we got a house, we got savings, everything is awesome. We lost the home, we lost the car, depleted our savings, and I ended up moving in with my entire family into my my wife's my wife's younger brother's house, and I was sleeping on the couch. Her younger brother. This obviously took a big knock on my ego because I couldn't reconcile my current position in the economy with my responsibility as husband and father, provider and protector. I was completely taken aback. And despite going for countless interviews, which all ended with, "You're perfect, and we're going to give you the job and we'll give you a call," nobody ever gave me a call. And during those days, the only money I made, the only insignificant and inconsistent money I made was through singing and playing music because I can sing. But the expression, "You're going to sing for your supper." Man, I really did that. I sang for my supper. The problem is I've got this engineering background. I see you, Joseph. The problem is that I've got this engineering background, and now I'm competing with people who are more qualified, more experienced, and they are just plain down better. They are much more talented than I am. And they are charging pennies for their services, and I cannot afford to live on pennies. And so something had to change, and then it changed. I re-engineered the way I saw my gift, music, saw my talent, and we can get into it later, but I then established what I call the passion to profit formula. And that allowed me not just to make money, not just to outcompete people who were far better than I was in music, but it allowed me to we got back a house, we got back a car, we got back our lives. So this wasn't just a game changer, it was the thing that saved our lives. You get? Your mic is muted. Sorry, man.
Thanks. I always forget that. So
Okay.
yeah, so you started from the top and then boom, reached the
Yeah.
bottom, and just like that. How did you how did you f- how did you feel when you were at the top in the beginning with your mechanical engineering career, and did you think that it was possible for you to lose it all?
See, thank you for the question. This is exactly why I'm so passionate about this. For me, this is not about building profitable online businesses. Well, it's not just about that. Number one, it's about the reality check. You
Mm,
see, I was managing projects, okay? When I was working in engineering, I was managing projects, bringing on other contractors. We were doing big numbers for the company. And I didn't realize that the home I lived in, the car I drove, the phone I had, every single thing about my life was not a reflection of what I earned, but it was a reflection of what I now owe. And I'm going to borrow, I'm going to pay back. The rest of my life is going to be me paying back this loan. And it never ever clicked to me until I lost it all, because three missed payments on your bank accounts and you lose everything. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't know if it's a positive attitude. I think I get it from my dad, I get it from my mom. But when I hit complete rock bottom, it was firstly a wake-up call for me because I couldn't believe that our lives had changed entirely. And for the listeners, man, I just want to challenge people throughout this. My hand represents your life. And if on top of your life you've got your home, your car, your studies, your food, what is balancing it? Is it that one thing called a job? The thing you don't even control. And then when you lose that one thing, everything that sits on this platform called your life completely drops. And that's exactly what happened to me. This is not from a condescending point. This is me understanding how it would happen to someone else because it happened to me. And I happen to know a million other people who this happened to. Okay. So it was definitely a rock bottom from me, but it was actually refreshing. There wasn't anybody else that I could let down. Okay.
mm,
I bust my bubble. I realized money wasn't coming to me, it was coming through me. The only way I knew it
mm.
came is because of bank notifications. And so I said, no, I'm done with that. From now on, we keep what we kill. Let's go out into the market and deal directly with the customer. And here we are.
Wow. This is what I love when I talk to you, Nathan. I don't know if it's because of your music producing background, is that you have this faculty of just dropping bars. Money was not coming to me, but through me. Let's just pause.
Yeah,
Let's just pause on this for a second, guys. Money was not coming to me, but through me. So you were essentially just losing it. You're
yeah,
right. You're right. And it's this. And here's the thing: when you have a business, it's the exact same thing. If all your income, if all your revenue stream comes from one client,
yeah,
you can risk it all, right? You need to
yeah,
diversify, right? But
absolutely.
if you don't have a business, you don't necessarily have this sort of approach or have a sort of this mindset. But when you look at it, a salary job is essentially having a business where you have only one customer, and that
Yeah.
customer can decide to leave whenever he or she wants. And once you've put that into perspective, you will realize how dangerous it is, right?
Yeah, that's so true, man. I'll tell you. So for me, one of the other big unlocks, you see, I believe there's three things that stand in the way of people living an exceptional
Mm,
life. My
mm,
idea of an exceptional life is a wealthy life. And I want to define what that is. A wealthy life is where you get to do what you want to do, where you want to do it, when you want to do it, with whomever you want to do it with,
mm,
without jeopardizing your livelihood. Okay. But what happens, the forces I believe standing in people's way, including mine, I have to face these things every single day. One is a poverty mindset, and that's the idea that time is abundant, money is scarce. And because time is abundant and money is scarce, you must therefore work your way, or you must trade your time for more money. The second thing, and this touches on employment, is what I call the financial fallacy of employment. And here's what it suggests: it says that you can become wealthy working for someone else, and you can gain your financial independence dependent on the economic system. Well, we know the truth. First of all, working for someone else is how you make that person wealthy. You can get rich working for someone else, in that riches accumulating and spending large amounts of money, but you can't become wealthy because you have to part with one of the main ingredients to wealth: your time. And so, worse than just having one customer, worse than just having one customer, is I realized I was part of a system, but I was a component within the system. And components in a system, Riley, you come from an engineering background, you know that their utility is to serve those who built the system, but they will inevitably be replaced in the system. You see, like
mm.
I've got a brake pad in my car. It doesn't serve me to preserve the life of the brake pad. That's how I lose my life, if you get what I'm saying. And so
Yeah.
when I realized, oh my gosh, man, these guys, they see, well, and I don't mean these guys as a particular group of people, but the producers in the economy, they say, let's part with our money for a while to create wealth, which is
Mm.
free up money and generate time. And the professionals of the world, the engineers, the lawyers, we say, money is amazing. Let's trade all of our time and energy away from our friends and family, away from our health, not neglect ourselves, and get all of this money. And when we get the money, hopefully we can buy back health, family, and happiness. Not going to happen.
Yeah. And that was the sort of golden cage you were trapped in during your sort of mechanical engineering phase, right?
Yeah, I love that. The golden cage. The golden cage. That's it. That's exactly right. Yes.
Yeah, brilliant. I want to pause here because we're getting more and more people joining in. So, hello,
Okay.
everyone. I see you in the chat. Shout out to Joseph, who we did an episode with before. Shout out to all the people sending us messages from Nigeria, from all around the world. Uh, Michael here, a LinkedIn user here, and a couple of other folks. Send us a couple of messages in the chat. Say hello so we know you're here. And if you have any questions for our guest, type those questions into the chat, and I'll pass them to Nathan so we can have a cool conversation. Golden handcuffs. Joseph says golden handcuffs. Yeah, you guys have similar stories. I want to see a podcast with the two of you because you have such crazy and inspiring stories to share. The other thing that I want to say before we get back to the conversation is that Nathan is doing us the favor of having this conversation live for the first time,
Oh yeah.
and you can see how pro he is with all of that. So let's get back to the conversation. Last thing I want to say, stay tuned till the end of this session, because we have a gift for you, a really really uh inspiring and powerful gift that we'll share at the end of this session. But let's get back to the conversation, because I want to know, episode 1, you are mechanical engineering in a golden cage, then you lost it all, and now the sort of second arc begins. What happens?
Okay. I just want to touch on what you said, Riley. This is my first podcast ever, so thank you for this, man. I said this is the year that I become intentional about building a personal brand. Not to say, look at me, but to say, look at this. I think a lot of people are going to fall in this hole. And I pray that a lot of people don't have to fall in this hole. However, I would like the content, the information, our various products to try and provide people with a safety net, better yet, a direction away from it. Okay. So let me answer the question, what happened next? Okay, so like I said, I was singing and it was ridiculous because I sang at weddings, and then I sang at funerals, and then I sang at weddings and funerals, and then I sang in the club, and then I sang at church. And sometimes by mistake, I would sing the songs meant for the club in church. It was a complete mess. But what happened is, and this is what I advocate for, even though that was my lowest moment in terms of being a father, because I couldn't provide and protect, well, I could do the best I could do because I was singing for money. For the first time, I was doing the thing I love doing, music. Okay. And I realize now that it wasn't just about music, but music is one of the ways I'm able to move people. And
Touches the
by
soul.
move them, exactly, touch the soul in a positive way. And so it was horrible, but just like how I do it now, you got to force me to go to bed because I really enjoyed what I was doing. But like I say, I don't know what is 500 Rand in dollars. I think it's like $25. I was getting $25 a gig. Okay. And these gigs only last 1 hour. And so I was more busy than productive, and it was horrible. So what I decided to do, because I don't know if it was a depressive state, but I was like, something has to change. And so I said, I cannot outcompete these guys. I've got engineering qualifications. They've got music degrees. Okay. I don't have all of this experience. My CV speaks to FMCG, fast moving consumer goods industry. And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. But thankfully, the engineer inside of me said, okay, let's reimagine this thing and see what we can do to increase market value. And so I did 3 things differently. Number 1, I reimagined the way I looked at my gift and my ability for music, going from seeing it as my biggest limiting factor, the thing the market paid me a measly and inconsistent income for, to seeing it as my biggest leverage point, the thing the market directly paid me for. So that was essentially, I know you in the SaaS world, Riley, that was market validation. I was like, man, people pay me for this thing. Will you come and sing here? We'll pay you. And I was like, okay. Number 1, we validated the concept. Secondly, I said, no longer am I going to focus on trying to outcompete my competitors who were far more talented, experienced, and qualified than I was. But I said, because I also thought that was a very selfish game that I was doing. I was like, what can I do to get more money? We spoke about this the other day. And I decided for the first time to say, okay, I'm now going to focus on better understanding my market, more specifically my ideal customer profile. And I said, I wanted to know everything. I want to know who they were, where they were, what their biggest pain points were, how they perceive value, and what motivated them to take action. My thinking was, if I could solve an even bigger problem for them, still related to music, they would see me as more valuable. And as such, they would compensate me proportional to that value. And thirdly, I made a decision, no longer would I trade my time and energy. I'm not going to stand on stage and sing because I simply can't increase my value that way. It wasn't justified. So I said I'd build a
It's hard to
system
scale.
it's hard to scale yourself. Exactly. So what I decided to do was build a system that would deliver that value to the marketplace independent of my time and energy. Now, don't get me wrong. When I say this, most people hear me saying, oh, so you don't work in the business. I'm like, yes, I don't work in the business, but I do work on the business. But you only get paid as a business builder when the thing you are working on works. You get what I'm saying? As an employee, you get paid to go to work, even if you don't, even if you aren't productive. But as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, you get paid when the thing you are building becomes valuable. In other words, it works. And so my first foray into building a product was to develop IP, intellectual property. And I studied my market. I saw some serious pain points. It was easy for me to draw a parallel between the monetary value related to those problems. And I put a price, I priced it at a premium to solve that problem. And the crazy thing, Riley, this is truly beautiful. Not only was I able to trade with a separation called a product, because a product separates you from the market, not in a bad way, but it allows, because a product is very scalable, whereas I could only deal with one client at a time. But the other thing is it absorbed the people who were better than me. They ended up working with my system, in my thing, because there was space for them. And that's what a business does. It looks at the factors of production, land, labor, capital, and it says, how can we leverage this for economic value? And I didn't know it then because I have got zero formal education in business, but I've dealt with the market directly. But I realize now this is entrepreneurship, this is business building. But I was honestly just trying to eat.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And so the one thing I'm curious about is when you were into that music phase, why haven't you sort of scaled it with the traditional way of scaling the music business, which is by going into one to many? So, for example, like having concerts, and so having more and more people paying to see you perform live, which is like a one to many scenario. And sorry, and the second thing is creating a product such as like an album or content that people can listen to uh when you don't have to be physically there giving it away.
Good question, man. And to be honest with you, because of what you just said, I'm jumping into this podcast. I'm going to go and start a band and I'm going to do music. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Let me tell you why, Riley. Music, don't get me wrong. I still sing all the time. There's my guitar right behind me. I don't know if you can see it there in the background. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm still doing music a whole lot, but I'll tell you what I identified going through that process. If I sang, I would simply entertain people, and I enjoy entertaining people. But this is going to sound very cheesy, okay? But I felt like that experience liberated me, okay? And I didn't just want to entertain people. I felt like there's something deeper here. There's the barber who simply thinks he can the only way to make money with his talent is to keep cutting heads. There's the baker who says, to make more money, I must bake and sell more cakes. And I'm saying, no, that's not the only way. I found this out the hard way. I try to streamline the process for other people now. And yes, there's something I wanted to do with music, but this feels like what I'm called to do. I'm called to firstly show people your retirement plan is not a plan you even came up with in the first place. An employer decided on it for you. You simply signed the contract because you were happy to get the job. Secondly, you have zero control over your life. And I must tell you this, you know this, being an entrepreneur is so fantastic because you're not trying to get money. You're trying to provide value, and the market is reciprocating. That's exactly what's happening. The market is reciprocating. So I really didn't want to go down that route. I'll tell you something. Many of the singers and musicians at that time asked me, Nathan, how on earth are you getting paid more money than us? Why is it working that way when you're not as talented as us? And I was like, because I found a way to provide more value and helping guys like that. Because you understand, for me, I'm akin to the problem because that was me. I sang so that I could eat. And so I know that even the guys who are singing, anybody who puts a price on their singing, okay, maybe that's too much of a generalization. But the average Joe who tries to get into music, which is a very saturated industry, they are hoping to be the next John Legend. No problem with that. But
Yeah.
what happens is you end up prostituting your talent because you
Mm.
sing what the market wants to hear. Okay. And whereas an engineer with business, that's not what I'm doing. I am doing something that I believe I'm passionate about, which is what? Developing other people. Okay. And helping them break free from the curse of mediocrity, the financial fallacy of employment, and the curse of mediocrity.
Mm.
That's another seriously big one. Playing in the middle.
Yeah,
Hopefully I answered your question.
yeah, absolutely. So music was a journey to help you find your calling, essentially.
That
It's
that
like
that would be putting it perfect. Yeah.
it's a mountain that you climbed, and when you reach the top of this mountain, you saw the bigger mountain behind it, and you're like, okay, no, music was like a a road I had to take to see what my next goal was going to be.
Yes. Yes. And
Really,
to put it more frankly, I don't think it was just a goal. I think it was the purpose. I
a
felt
purpose.
I'll put it to you this way. I believe that everything you go through is not just for you. Sometimes you go through things. For instance, if you were a father, you don't want your son or your daughter to begin where you began.
Mm,
That's starting at zero. You want to at least say, okay, we started here. I took us here. Now you get to start from here to take us further. And I feel like I can see myself in the market. When
mm,
I'm serving my customer, I'm serving younger me without the knowledge, without any information in business. Because, Riley, I'll tell you another crazy thing. When I wanted to start a business, I went to everybody I thought knew about business, and everybody gave me what you find in an average textbook. They were like, make a business plan, make financial projections. And then I saw a lady selling millies on the street. And I was like, I wonder if this lady got a business plan. One thing's for sure, she's getting paid. You get what I'm saying? So yeah.
absolutely. This it's exactly what they taught me when I was at university. So so in France, so engineers in France are different from engineers in North America, because we are taught everything and not just engineering. We are taught law, accounting, business, and stuff like that. And one of the things we studied was how to create a business plan, how to
Wow.
draft all those documents, and then you spend weeks, if not months, writing stuff to only realize that, like Mike Tyson says, everybody's got a business plan until they get punched in the face by the real life. So yeah, I know all of these things. That's exactly what is the things I sort of teach my client is focus on delivering value, and not delivering ink. We have a question, and I want to
Yeah,
share
let's
that
go.
with you right now.
Okay.
It's the earliest question in the show, so I want to share it. And it's, how long did it take you to become self-aware instead of competing? So thank you for this question. If it's clear enough to you,
It is.
go ahead.
Okay. I wish I could credit it to being self-aware, but I simply got out competed. I could
Mm,
not compete in the arena. Okay. I was getting the scraps. I was getting like the bare minimum. Um, I'll tell you what happened for me. I simply had to pivot, Riley. I had to pivot.
mm,
I did something. It sort of gave me validation because I got paid from it, but I was like, this is not paying for bills. Again, I was sleeping on my brother in law's couch. I'm a big guy. We destroyed that couch completely. And I was like, and for the record, I had zero business, IQ. I didn't know anything about business. I just wanted to get paid. So I started off really, really selfish to the point where I was like, I'll sing a better song. Can you pay me more money? And the customer was saying, we're not looking for a better song. We're looking for a song. You get what I'm
mm,
saying? But I was like, no, you don't understand. If I sing the song this way, it'll be so much better. Until I sat down with the customer and said, man, what is the problem you actually have? I really want to get money, but if you're saying I have to be more valuable, what is valuable to you? And guess what? It's so crazy. People love to talk about their problems. And so the customer was like, well, you know what? If we could find a way to replace all of these musicians we keep paying, Here's the cost that we pay every single week. Here's what it looks like every single month. If we knew how to solve that problem, you might be more valuable to us. And I was like, and like any other entrepreneur, I was like, okay, I'll find a solution. Give me a second. Went back, did some stuff. The client said, that looks like nonsense. And I was like, okay, what about it is nonsense? They said this. And I went and worked on it until the point where they said, here's our money, not for singing. You get what I'm saying? So it wasn't a matter of being self-aware. Maybe there is a degree of self-awareness in it. I'm not sure. But what it really was to me was coming up with an idea, a hypothesis, okay, taking it to the market very, very, very quickly, getting feedback, having the market go, this is nonsense and we don't want it, or wow, okay, we think we can pay for this, but then continually iterating on the product. So it was more, it wasn't an aha moment. It was actually next step. And that's the way the game goes till this very day with what I'm doing in business now.
Brilliant. It's so uncanny how your music slash entrepreneur experience draw some parallels with I would say traditional business, and I can even connect this to what I'm doing with, which is around software as a service and engineering and software and things like that. You said you wanted to write a better song,
Yeah.
but clients didn't want a better song. They just wanted songs, right?
Yeah.
In my world, engineers are obsessed with building the product with the best features.
Yeah.
Like, let's just add more features. No, no, no. I want to build you the best app, the best website, the best AI agent. And
Yeah.
clients, they just want something they can click on and give them a solution to their problem. You see how connected this is? It's like
100%.
it's like you're watching the same movie with just a different theme. And
Yeah.
and that's why I love and I always say knowledge is everywhere as long as you have an open mind. So
Yeah.
so what I'm hearing right now is music can teach you business if you have an open mind.
That's the caveat. That if you have an open mind, and you must understand. So here's what happened with me. When somebody went, we don't think you should get paid more money. I was like, man, I think I can sing. So I took it personal. That was beautiful. I see the excellent. Thank you for that. So you gotta, I think entrepreneurship. So this is my belief. Sorry, let me just go here. You see, even if everybody doesn't become an entrepreneurship, because the truth is, I don't think entrepreneurship is for everyone, but I do believe that everybody should embark on an entrepreneurial journey. Why? Because it will make you a better thinker. You'll be able to identify problems in the marketplace, come up with new solutions to old problems, and you'll find ways to service old problems with new solutions. Maybe I butchered that, but you become a better communicator. All right. And by communicator, I don't mean a better speaker, while there is merit in being a better speaker. But by being a better communicator, you see, the fruits of communication, at being good at communication, is one, gaining clarity with yourself, and you cannot execute if it is not clear to you. But secondly, gaining collaboration and cooperation from other people, onboarding other people into your way of seeing the world. When you can communicate effectively, this is a function. And finally, it makes you a better executor. And a better executor doesn't look like the person who gets it right the first time. It's the person who says, I'm going to do it until I can't get it wrong.
Amen.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Joseph in the comments said, entrepreneurship is like jazz. I may be wrong, so guys, correct me. Correct me if it's the case. But I think that jazz is often improvised, and they have like a spectrum of sort of frequencies and notes to play, but it's often improvised. And so entrepreneurship is a lot of like jazz, going with the flow, and based on how the others are playing, then you would get your moves out, right?
Yeah, like I told you, I was an amateur and I'm an amateur in music. I never got to jazz level. I was singing John Legend, not jazz.
Okay, so all of you was into that.
Exactly.
Brilliant.
Exactly.
Brilliant. I'm gonna pause for a minute to welcome everyone who's joining this live. We're
Okay.
about halfway in this conversation. with our amazing Nathan here, full of wisdom and inspiration, from a mechanical engineer to rock bottom to making money through music, and to what he's going to tell us next. If you have any questions or you just want to say hello, this is a live session, so write your questions in the comments down below, and I'm going to show them here in the live, like Joseph here. Yes, jazz is improvised music. Excellent, thank you. And so yeah, share us your comments, share us your questions, so we can have a conversation all together. And stay tuned till the end, because Nathan has a gift for us, and I'm going to do it SMR way. Stay, because it's worth it. Uh, Back to the conversation. So yeah, Joseph was telling us, yes, improvised, and the music is between the notes. Exactly. So jazz and entrepreneurship, sorry, are heavily connected. Okay, I want to know what's in the episode 3 of this amazing series. So now you sort of opened your mind to entrepreneurship and saw entrepreneurship behind music. And so
Yes.
what happened?
Well, like I said to you, um, and I think you know this from our conversations, I'm a very systems based person. Okay. So even now, I don't want to send false signals to anybody. I believe, well, if you're just starting out in entrepreneurship, what you have, and let's suppose you are working, okay, my target audience are the people who are employed, whether by someone else or self employed, but they trade their time and energy for money. What you do have is you have some leftover money and you have some leftover time. I was unfortunate. I didn't have any leftover. I didn't have any money, but I had a whole lot of time. I had a whole lot of
Mm,
time. Okay. But here's where I'm going with this. I am a solopreneur with a job in mechanical engineer. I'm a mechanical engineering training specialist at the moment, and I run a business. Okay. So I don't think the problem is that time is short. I think the problem is we don't know how to assign our energy into the time allotted to us. The one thing the CEO and the sweeper, the king and the pauper have in common is 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. It is an
mm,
equal measure. Time is short and it's running out, but what are we doing with the time we have? And so I got very dialed in into saying, okay, this is the time I have. I'm not just going to keep myself busy, but what will give me the highest leverage? And so for me, that looked like stop singing and start researching the customer, start spending time with the customer, start talking with the customer in terms of money, like where are you losing money related to this music thing? And so that looked counterproductive to the average person, well, to the person not in business, because it's like you're not singing anymore. But what it was is I was building something. Okay, fast forward to today. I've taken the entire process on how I managed, because even now we have digital products, because that's what I advocate for. We have a bunch of digital products that will make me money independent of my time and energy. We'll speak about a bit about some of them, but this means that I can continue to have a job still in engineering. I don't intend to stay in engineering, but it's a resource. Why not use the resource? I have a disposable income. I have digital assets. And so long as I build a thing that creates a separation between myself and the market, I can continue to leverage all of my resources to advance my agenda. So what happened is a bunch of singers, bakers, people that I knew. I got excited about this. I'm not trying to get biblical, but there's a story in the Bible where Mary Magdalene meets Jesus. He tells her a bunch of things. She gets all excited. She runs and she says, "Come see, I met a man. I met a man who told me everything." But she basically said, Jesus gave me bread. He gave me some game. I couldn't
mm,
shut up about it. I could not shut up about it. I was like, man, do you even know? Couple things. Here are some holes. I don't know if you know about them. And here are some ways out of the hole. I don't know if you know about them. If we fast forward to today, not only have we worked with hundreds of aspiring and existing entrepreneurs to build their profitable online business, we currently run our own profitable online business, which is more than just the website or the digital assets. Again, a business, let me simplify it and just give my definition since I didn't go to business school. It's how we organize things to produce and sell for profit. It's that simple.
mm.
How we organize things, those things can be our resources to produce and sell for profit. And so what I did is I taught people, and now we have a community. Sorry, that's where I was going with this. Now we've got a community, and we are still servicing people in various capacities. Some people we do done for you services, but these are people who have already established what their concept is. They know who their client is, and they have a product, but they haven't found a way to automate the sales process. Well,
Mm.
we bring in the passion to profit formula to that. But essentially, Riley, this whole thing, the journey I'm trying to take people on, whether they build a business or not, is I'm saying, have you ever spent time thinking about someone other than yourself? Problems that aren't just your own problems? Because when we think about ourselves, we say, I need money. Okay. When we think about other people, we say, can I help? Can I help that person? And I'm saying entrepreneurship is an amazing tool because it forces you, whether you have problems or not, to say, how can I be of value to somebody else? That's the
Mm.
first thing it does. But then it also forces you to get comfortable with failing. And by failing, I mean missing the mark. Okay. And then, because I don't believe that the problem is that businesses fail. All businesses fail. The biggest businesses that we service fail. The problem is that some businesses end in failure because they're not lean enough. They have got zero risk management. And the first hiccup is bound to decimate them. Okay. And so we're saying, come and learn not about money. Come and learn about value because money represents an agreement between key players in the economy. Come and learn about business. Come and learn about entrepreneurship. Come and learn about problem solving. And we will show you how to give that solution to the marketplace and price it at a premium in a way that separates you from the marketplace,
Mm.
in a way that allows you to serve the marketplace, because a business is not a way for you not to do work. A business is a way for you to get the maximum work done for the market by building a system. Okay.
Brilliant. I love this. At some point, I'll just clip your videos and just give them to my clients so I don't have to do the speech, because most of what you're saying is what I'm telling people. So I love it. I
Okay.
love to hear that. Um, I want to dive into one two aspects. So
Okay.
aspect number one is maybe if you can tap into that notion of failure, because even if a business doesn't fail in the end, you can have failing situations. Like you can lose
Mhm.
a customer, you can have a problem with the product or a service, something can go wrong. So it's the business is not failing, but you're experiencing failure. And so how do you deal with these kind of things? And the second question is, when you transition to your mechanical engineering situation to now building businesses, how did you sort of convince yourself that the transition was necessary? Because I often see a lot of people saying when they want to move into the business, they want to take all the experience and all the diplomas and the certifications and all their wins, they want to take all of that into the business and sort of shove it inside the business. Like for example, you'd say, okay, I'm mechanical engineering, I want to use 100% of that with my
Mhm.
business.
Yeah. Can I answer the second question first?
Yes.
Okay. So I never needed convincing. I simply wanted to keep growing. It's like I'm saying to you, I was getting wins before I got money. I
Mm,
was thinking more clearly. I went from crippling thinking to critical thinking. Crippling thinking is where you come up with a number of ways why it won't work.
mm,
And you do that from your bedroom, in your head, or in your boardroom. Many businesses do this from the boardroom. They say, here's what the customer is thinking, but here's why it probably won't work. No, I was at the place where I was like, okay, what is the dumbest thing I think I could take to the market? Not a dumb thing, but I was like, okay, I'm probably wrong. I don't need to go and fail. I probably have it wrong anyway. Let me quickly go and present this idea to the market and have them respond. And I really enjoyed the process of growing. I enjoyed the process of asking someone for money the first time.
mm,
Okay. I enjoyed the process of trying to build a website for the first time, write a book for the first time. These things this is what I'm saying. They developed me on a personal level. And so there was no two ways about it. My mindset already broke. I realized that the comfortable life I was living in 2017 was a facade. I had been plugged out of the matrix and I was now in the real world. And I was like, oh, wow, I didn't own any of these things. I was not a home owner. I was a loan owner. I wasn't a car owner. I was a loan owner. And I was like, okay, uh, normal is an illusion. What's normal to the spider is chaos to the fly. And I could not go back to seeing my job as anything other than a web, a spider web. Um, this is not to say, I want to clarify, this is not to say that I'm saying jobs are bad. I have a job. But I'm saying the platform that is your life, if it is just balancing on a job, as soon as the job goes, a job you don't even make decisions in, then your entire life is going to collapse. That
Hmm.
was the first thing. So you get it for me, what I'm saying, Riley. For me, this wasn't about how do I bring engineering. And also the reason I never tried to bring engineering into entrepreneurship is because I felt like I failed at entrepreneurship or at engineering. I couldn't get a job. Everybody kept going, you're amazing. We're going to give you a job. And I didn't get a job. And eventually, that's how I ended up singing. So it never
Hmm.
occurred to me, let's try to build an engineering business. Also, you know my business model. It is passion driven, customer centric, and built online. We're not
Hmm.
saying that businesses that aren't online businesses are wrong. We're saying if you're looking to get into a brick and mortar type business, please go next door. Go next door. But if you want to build products, you only need to build once for a relatively small amount of money, and that you can sell in your infinite amount of times. Let's have a conversation. We think we can help you. That's what we're
Yeah.
saying.
100%.
Then the
100%.
first question, I think I try to tie both of them into there. The one about failing, I told you, failing, I don't view as a bad thing. And I just want to
Hmm.
address this. I don't know if it's the educational system. I'm not trying to be anti establishment biased here. But so I have a son, his name is Caleb. He's awesome. When he started walking, when he was trying to walk, first few steps, he looked like a drunkard. Okay. He tried to talk, he looked even more drunk. We never said, stop it, you failed, done. We now know that walking is not for you. That's not what we done. In fact, those terrible steps and bad utterances, we were like, yay, Caleb is talking. It's so amazing. And so and that is because we saw failure as part of the process. In fact, the stepping stones to success. That was how it is for riding a bike. That was how it is for everything else. Somehow you get to school, and when you fail, they go, now you see, they say, you see what failing tells you. I don't disagree with the educational system. Failing points out your limitations. I think the
Hmm.
problem is that limitations are a signal, not a ceiling. Limitations tell you that you cannot do the thing you just tried to do. Now you get to respond. Either you go, so I'm never doing that again. That is never me. Or you say, okay, what do I have to do? Who do I have to become to move this mountain? And that
Hmm.
is the challenge to step up. And that's the route I will continually take. So failing is a good thing.
Brilliant example. I always bring up the baby steps, but I never connected it with the celebration. I forgot about that, but
Yeah.
that's your daddy experience, right? It's so true. I always tell
Yeah.
people, no human being was born running. You need
Yeah.
to start crawling, then walking
Yeah.
a little bit to finally run or even dance. So you need to go into that journey and learn. I forgot about the celebration thing. That's a
Yeah.
really really good example. We celebrate when babies taking their first steps and falling. We don't celebrate an entrepreneur or business person when they're taking their entrepreneur steps and falling, right?
Mm,
That's
exactly.
brilliant. Brilliant. I
Yeah.
love it. This is you're gonna have a lot of clips for your social media. A lot of good stories. I love this. I love this. Um, the other thing the other example that that came to my mind when you talked about having something having everything relied on one string. And
Yeah.
probably you know this from mechanical engineering, but in public aviation, the big planes, the big Airbus
Hmm.
and Boeings, most of the safety systems are tripled. So the
Yeah.
wires, they have tripled the wires, they double or triple the engines. So
Yeah.
everything that could be critical for the plane has
Yes.
safety measures. They duplicate or often triple the systems. And in our life, if we only rely on one source of income, that
For
is
everything.
that is and that is a salary, so something you don't have most of the control, then it doesn't make sense, right? It's super dangerous.
Yeah. That's true, man. Stephen Naidu.
Yeah, people
Yeah.
still joining. I love that. I love that. I love that. Yeah, so guys, if you have any questions, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions for Nathan, drop those questions in the chat, comments in the chat. We are about to enter the last segment of this podcast because it's already 50 minutes. Can you believe that?
Wow.
Sorry. So in this sort of last section, I really want to talk about two things. So one,
Yeah.
what are you doing now? Tell us more about your business, your school community. And the second thing I want to ask is, and you said that a lot during that session, but I want you to sort of summarize. If someone wants to start into entrepreneurship or business, can you give us up to 3 actionable tips? Not something theoretical or like a book to read, like something they can stand up and do. Okay, so first tell us about what you're doing right now, what about your school community, and then we'll jump on the actionable tips.
Awesome stuff. With your permission, Riley, I
Yeah.
feel like the setup will be better if I go with the second question first and then show them how we can go there. Okay. So let's get actionable. Right. Here's my belief, and I want to substantiate it for you. I don't just want to tell you the belief. I think when people get into entrepreneurship or when people want to start a business, what they do is they say, what business should I start? And I think that is the worst question you could ask. Okay. Because you're going to end up saying, I should start a barbershop. You're going to end up saying, I should start a school community. You're going to end up saying, I should become a forex trader. This is a terrible. And here's why it's bad. Because in business, there exists a concept called competitive risk. And it is the likelihood that your customers or the market would do business with your competitors and not with you. The only reason they would do business with your competitors and not you is because they have an advantage. They do exactly what you are trying to do, only they can do it better, quicker, cheaper, faster, all of those things. Why?
Mm.
Because they have more skill, more knowledge, and more experience, and even more connections and collaborators in the marketplace than you have. You are set up to fail instantaneously. What I'm saying is, so this is a framework from our passion to profit formula process.
Mm.
I believe that we all, every one of us, we have something that I call your unfair business advantage. Now, just like me, with zero experience and know how in business, I knew how to sing. You see, so I wasn't trying to figure out, I didn't need to figure out the value part. I needed to figure out how do I monetize the value part. So you see, here's the framework we use. We call it the 3 P's process, the 3 P's framework: prolificacy, proficiency, and passion. Pleasure. The first P. Your passion is something you are driven by love to do and would no doubt do for free. In other words, you gain a sense of pleasure from the activity. That's the first P. Secondly, because you love doing it so much, it is likely the thing you invest most of your free time into doing. So you're getting reps. That's prolificacy. And because you invest most of your free time into doing this thing, it is also likely the thing you are good at relative to the things you do. That's proficiency. What I'm saying is that there is already something you are good at relative to the average person. Now, you don't have to be able to outcompete the top 1%, but if you think of a bell curve, you fall outside of the bell curve. Okay. And so what you want to do is identify the thing people already come to you for. And it's actually likely that your passion already costs you money. For instance, my guitar is 5,000 Rand. What's that, like $250? So it costs,
Yeah.
and then there's music lessons. So you already doing this thing all the time. People already, when they think of this thing, they think of you. For me, it was somebody, there's a funeral, call Nathan. There's a wedding, call Nathan. We need someone to sing in the club, call Nathan. We need someone to sing in the church, call Nathan.
Top
And
of
so,
mind.
top of mind. But the catch is, you're not trying to figure out, how do I become valuable? I don't think you need to reinvent yourself. In fact, you do not need to reinvent yourself. You need to realize that you are capable of far more than you ever imagined possible. The problem is that we downplay the thing we are passionate about. But I promise you that there are already businesses making millions, if not billions, predicated on the thing you are passionate about. The reason I know about music is because music is profitable for people to make. So all the way here, I hear about music. You can say that about baking, modeling, bodybuilding, whatever you want to say, you want to talk about. So the first actionable step that someone should start with is not, how do I get into drop shipping? Not, how do I start a digital marketing agency or get a school community? The first thing they need to do is say, what is my unfair advantage? I'm not the best at it, but I'm simply better than the average person. Or I think, because business is competition, I think I could outcompete this particular person. Okay. And secondly, I could provide value to the marketplace. The second thing you want to do, which is what I advocate for, and this is exactly how I did it, Riley. I'm going to tell you how the IP came about. Instead of saying, I'm a very good barber, okay? And then you say, so I call this the show house / application side of your passion. So the singer's going to sing, the barber's going to cut hair, the baker's going to bake cakes. I'm saying, don't do that. Do that to build a brand, to show credibility. However, there's another aspect to your passion called the know-how / knowledge side of your passion. Okay, now why is this important? Well, you've heard of the founder market fit. And all this suggests is, I'm going to put it to you this way: to go from passion to profit, which is our entrepreneurship mechanism, you first need to identify what you are passionate about. Okay. Then you need to determine what the know-how to that passion is. And then you need to say, who could benefit from the information I have? The answer to that question is the person you were 5, 10, 15 years ago. Just ask yourself, what would you do? Where would you be if you knew 15 years ago what you know now? The answer is, you would be where you are now 15 years ago. What wouldn't you do to fast track that process? Now, people are saying, oh, Nathan's talking about selling an online course. Yes, not just a course, but
Maybe, yeah.
people have bought education every day. My engineering is a function of education, because there's 3 things you need if you're going to make anything happen. You need access to market, you need supplies, and you need the know-how. Okay, I'm saying that access to market and supplies are you're going to incur some serious operating and startup costs. And you're going to need some operating capital to last the period where you are establishing a good product market fit. Whereas, here's the crazy part. So I'm going into the final aspects of this. Once you've identified who could benefit from the information you know, and for the record, I don't just mean make a course. I mean, you could consult. If you're very creative, let's suppose you're a good graphic designer, then you could do done for you services. You could also do done with you services, or you could do it yourself services, which is a course. But either way, you are selling information. And information, man, there is something called the FBI. Information, like intelligence. Information is a big thing. Okay, so once you've done that, you want to figure out how you can put paraffin on this business idea by leveraging the power of the internet and digital automation. Why? Because, Riley, up until 5 years ago, it cost me no money to trade in business online. No money. And I had access to the whole world, whoever was on the World Wide Web, and I could put up a website that would sell the whole day, the whole day to people all over the show. The internet levels the playing field. And so if you're saying I don't have, so let's just quickly dismantle all of the objections. If you're saying
Mhm.
I don't have the internet, I don't have access to the technology to start a business, I'm saying your phone, you do. The first rocket that went to the moon, the Apollo 11, had 2% of the computing power than that is in the average smartphone. What are you doing with your phone? Taking selfies. If you're saying I don't have the information is out there. The
For
problem is,
free.
what are you searching for? And the
Mhm.
and but I will stress on this because there are a bunch of people who've read a bunch of books on business. Okay, they've consumed a bunch of motivational videos on YouTube, but they
No
haven't taken,
execution.
but no execution. And that's exactly it. I believe that the missing element is environment. If your current environment is optimized for watching Netflix on the weekend, spending all your money and borrowing from your future self in the form of credit, then you are not going to end up in entrepreneurship and you will never ever gain financial independence. However, if you are in a community where people are saying, what's the fastest way I can fail so that I can figure out how to pivot? Because failing is a good thing. How can I be more valuable to the market? If you are in that kind of an environment, man, you are going to grow. You are going to be a value to the market, and they will
Mhm.
respond and reciprocate to you with money.
Hmm.
That's what I'm saying. So let's do it bullet points. Number one, identify what you are passionate about. Again, passion isn't just the thing you like, it's also the thing you are good at, and it is also the thing you've got reps into doing. People know
Can
you for this thing. Okay,
can
go.
can I can I add something to here? Because it happened
Yeah,
to one of my friend. He was exactly at this stage, and what I told him to do was very simple. I said, call 10 to 20 of people who know you very well, like your friends and family, and ask them one
yeah,
simple question. And the question is, what kind of problem would you call me for? if
that's
if you
awesome stuff.
need something from me and you're like, oh, I'm in this situation, I need to call Nathan, what is that
Mm,
situation? And ask 10 of
yeah,
your friends and families, and they'll tell you for what is your sort of, what are you top of mind for them, and this could help you identify some of those positionings. What do you think about that?
that I think that's exactly right. That's exactly right. That's why more than just that, you not more actually. You want to leverage that. You want to surround yourself with people who feel comfortable enough to tell you the truth about yourself, because sometimes the thing we think the thing is not the thing, and to be good in entrepreneurship, or to be an effective entrepreneur, you have to consider the market. In fact, that's why I said passion driven, customer centric, and built online.
Hmm.
Before we determine what, we must establish who, and if the what doesn't serve the who, then we should scrap it.
You are not the customer. You are not
You
the
are not the
customer.
customer. Exactly. Customers are the lifeblood of every single business. If you don't have customers, you can't make a sale. If you can't make a sale, you won't hit your revenue targets. If you don't hit your revenue targets, how can you be profitable? You need customers. You
Hmm.
need customers. And so I just want to say this much to you. I want to go for the information. I just want to touch on the information side of things. So it turns out with the internet that the easiest thing to productize is information.
Hmm.
And the easiest thing to digitize is information. Why is this awesome? Because you could make, let's suppose you made an ebook. Okay, let's suppose you decided, I mean, Zoom, you can get a free Zoom account. If I wanted to teach people, like you said, how to play the guitar, I could say, listen, guys, I'm charging $1 a lesson. All you needed to do is pay the $1, you'll get a Zoom session with me, and I will teach you the guitar. Now, the average, maybe somebody's saying, yeah, but a $1 is not going to change your life. No, it's not, but it is going to validate your concept. It's going to validate that you are not only that you have value, but you know how to communicate that value in a way the market is already looking for. Because that's the other aspect. People, like you said, Riley, people build great products and they go, the market is stupid because the market doesn't want to buy. And I know that the market would benefit from this. No, brother,
Yeah.
no, sister. You need to and that is it. Package and position that value in a way the market perceives as valuable. Because people don't buy your product, they get your product. What they buy is your offer.
Correct.
They buy the
And I
offer.
w- and
So
I
yeah,
want to
go.
tap into one thing you mentioned with you can sell information and information can be digitized and packaged and it's valuable. I want to give you a very simple yet crazy example about that. There is a video on YouTube that is literally called, I have it in front of me. It's called How to Turn On Comments on YouTube. There's a
Wow.
3-minute video that teaches you how you can turn on comments on YouTube. Do you know how many views that video did?
Tell me.
2.3 million views to show you how
Yeah,
you
that's
can
wow.
turn on comments. You would think this is a very simple thing. It's very easy to turn on comments on YouTube. That single small piece of information was watched 2.3 million times.
Okay. I'm so with you. I didn't want to go here, but I actually think I'm gonna go there because I've got a philosophical side to me. So I'm just gonna go there. Every major movement, let's call them religion,
Hmm.
is predicated on information. The Bible, John starts this way. Okay, the New Testament says, in the beginning was the word. You could swap that out and say in the beginning was content.
Mhm.
Okay, it might have been packaged into scrolls, it might have been packaged into the Bible you hold today or the Quran you hold today. But in the beginning, the way we start this thing is with info. You need information. And I'll tell you why. Because we can't agree until we know what we're saying. And agreement is how the economy functions.
Hmm.
If I came to America with rands, I would not be able to trade because it's not the agreement. I need dollars because it's not money that's valuable, it's the agreement. And so the information is so important. But what we do is we somehow school information is different to information on decentralized platforms.
Mm.
And no problem with that. I don't, because I'll put it to you this way. Let me not get in trouble. You don't go to school for information and you don't go to school to get educated. You go to school to get certificated, and you are fortunate if you come out educated as well.
Hmm.
Because there's no discovering for the first time in an education institution. There is, there's, what's the word? You're simply trying to put into your head something somebody already thought of. But the learning actually takes place outside. And this is what the entrepreneur is saying. The entrepreneur is saying, so you're saying I must start a business and somehow go to the library to figure this thing out. Why can't I go to the people I'm going to serve? Did they tell the people in the books what I need? No. You can't learn to swim in the library. You need to go to the pool. You can't learn entrepreneurship from the library. Maybe you can become a better manager of a business that is already established. But if you're going to serve people, then you need to make it about the people. What
Hmm.
is stopping anybody from interacting with the people? That's all I'm saying.
I love it. I love it. And last section, I want to tap into what you're doing now, your
Okay.
community, and that little gift that you have for us.
Okay. So, again, thank you for bringing me on this podcast. Very exciting time for me. You can see I don't get a chance to talk at home, so I spoke a lot right here.
I think we need to do a second episode. 1 hour is not enough.
Okay, so what are we doing right now? So we've got a platform on school called the Passion to Profit Formula. As a matter of fact, sorry, I butchered that. It's called the Passion to Profit Challenge. We currently have a challenge going on. We're in week 3 of the challenge. There's a $500 giveaway. The winner will also get lifetime access to our course, and they will also get lifetime. Oh no, they will get 6 weeks live group coaching with me. There's no team. I'm a solopreneur in this thing. Will say that I have got strategic partnerships. I think you met some of them. Mike Dawson, he was in the live here. We've got some strategic key players in the economy. But as far as Passion to Profit formula goes and the challenge, it's just me. So the community answers exactly that. I believe there's 3 things required to see a transformation. Number 1, you need a change in your beliefs. So you
Hmm.
need new information. But then you need a change in your behavior. Okay,
Hmm.
you need to do things differently, regardless of not seeing the positive outcome immediately. But what I believe cements that change and actually is the driving force of that change is a change in environment. The difference between a seed in the hand and a seed in the ground is growth. You see, Even though a seed has within it the intrinsic ability to become more than just a seed, it needs the right environment. And so our school community, which is currently free, and we're going to leave it free until June or until we get our first 1,000 members. There's already 175 members in there, and we just approved someone else today. So we're really enjoying that process. But we're going to leave it free. Everybody's going to get lifetime access. It's not a lead magnet. I've already spoken to you about this. It is the
Mm,
community. We're simply
mm,
going to make it a paid community later by June
mm.
or by 1,000 community members. That community has got courses which go deep into the passion to profit formula. It's also got courses on personal development. But I want to preface this personal development with this. My philosophy is movement is better than meditation. And so we are saying you will develop yourself by embarking on the entrepreneurial journey, by
Mm.
conceptualizing ways to give value to the market, and by conception and by engaging with customers and building products. So that's how we're going to develop you. But if people want to join, they can jump in there. We are currently busy with 5 people in our Passion to Profit Accelerator program, because what happens is every now and then I'm going to look into the community, find a business that moves me, and I'm going to offer them my done for you services for free so that we can take that business to the market. Why?
Wow.
Because I love this and because I can. That's the one thing we're going to do. So there's that community, the giveaway. To say thank you to Riley. Riley and I, like you said, Riley, we connected in December. I've given him, guys, there's no opt-in form. You're simply going to go to this link. I don't know if you're going to make the link available in a chat or something, Riley. It's bishopenterprises.co.za /book giveaway, book dash giveaway. There's the link. There's no opt-in form. You don't need to give me your name and email address. Simply get the information. We spoke about it. It is, you first need to change your beliefs. Then you need to change your behavior. But we must first download the information. And here is the Passion to Profit formula. It's basically the process we use, not just to build our business, but they have now used to help hundreds of other aspiring entrepreneurs build their businesses. And it is predicated on what we discussed. First, identifying what your unfair business advantage is and how you can leverage the power of the internet to drive that value to the marketplace. Then we dive straight into the customer, identifying who your ideal and most valuable customer is. Then formulas are the best. Then we go into building information products that you can sell in your infinite amount of times. Look, I don't want to butcher the book. I don't want to harp on about it. If you're interested and you want the book, click on the link. It will take you to a place you can download the ebook. I hope it changes your life the way it changed mine. That's an example of the community. Look at that. There were 175 people before I logged on. Clearly, Mike Dawson has approved some people, because there's 177 people in the community right now, and there's 6 online. So that's what's up.
Yes.
Did I answer you, Riley?
Can I? Yeah, perfect. Can I show the classroom? Tease a little bit the classroom.
You can go right in, man. Show the
Yeah.
engagement, please. I don't mind. Show.
I'm gonna show the classroom. So it's packed with content, and the community has crazy engagement. People are talking, people are sharing knowledge. It's just massive. I could scroll for a fair bit here. So yeah, just have a look at all of that. Um, Boom, I'm gonna show a little bit here. Unlock your transformation, the Passion to Profit challenge. It's free, and free for now, free forever, as you mentioned. And there's a huge gift for a couple of folks who will join in. I probably am gonna try to get back to this, the book giveaway.
Yeah.
I'll share. So what I'll do is probably tomorrow, I'll share the link of the podcast again on the
Yeah.
platforms, and I'll attach the link in the comments. So for
Okay.
those who had a hard time getting to this, you'll have a clickable links and all of that. We have to close this session. So
Yeah, man.
one final question. If you can complete the sentence for me, life is too short to
Life is too short to build someone else's dream.
Life is too short to build someone else's dream. Nathan, thank you so much for taking the time to do this live podcast with me. I hope everyone loved it. I had a brilliant time. It was just an amazing session with you. I always love to chat. This was too short. We need to do it again. Final word to you.
Thank you, man. Sorry, you said you're giving me the final word.
Yes.
Okay, so I just want to talk to the employed person, whether you're self-employed or employed by someone else. Don't quit your job, but 100% take responsibility for your financial independence and your future. Your spare time and your free money, there are ways the internet has made it easier than ever before to figure out how you can become not just a consumer, but also a producer. If you become a producer, if you embark on entrepreneurship, not only will it develop you on a personal level, but it could change your life. And that's my say. Thank you, Riley.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Nathan. See you next time.
See you next time, man.